Welcome to the August edition of Special Olympics Rhode Island Magazine. My name is Henry Moretti. Joining me today is my good friend Larry LaSala, Vice President and Deputy General Counsel at Textron and Chair of the Special Olympics Rhode Island Board of Directors. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Henry.
Larry, can you tell us how long you've been involved with Special Olympics Rhode Island?
I have been involved with Special Olympics Rhode Island since 2012 when I was, much to my delight, asked to join the board of directors.
And how did you get elected the board chair?
I think you'll have to ask Denny DeJesus about that one. Just working pretty hard, being very involved with the board for about 6 or 7 years, being on various committees, the governance committee, and then ultimately co-chairing the 50th anniversary committee for the 2 years.
I was a board member for 6 years on the Special Olympics board when I was a board member.
Well, I wish I had been there when you were on the board.
When Mike McGovern when Carol Nagle was the boss.
I see.
Do you have a favorite memory from your involvement in Special Olympics?
I do. I have two, actually. I was thinking about this, and they're sort of related. I started in 2012 on the board, as I told you, but my first year volunteering at the Summer Games was 2013. And like many people, I think, who haven't really been involved in Special Olympics up to that point, I wasn't quite sure.
You get hooked on it.
You do, and I wasn't quite sure what to expect. And I just had a fabulous day that I will never forget, just talking to the athletes and meeting the athletes and really just engaging in a way I really didn't anticipate. And like I said, I will remember that for a really long time. And sort of related to that, my other really favorite memory is this year for the 2019 Summer Games. It was the first time that both of my kids were old enough to come and volunteer and work with me. And you met them that day.
Yes, that's right.
And that was really a lot of fun watching them interact with the athletes and just really enjoy themselves.
And this year being inside, it was nice because they're doing so much work at URI and everything.
That's right. On the opening ceremonies. That's right.
Can you explain your role as chairman of the board, director of Special Olympics? What's some of your responsibilities?
So we have a great board at Rhode Island Special Olympics. It's very diverse. We have people from the business community, the academic community, law enforcement, medicine. We have parents and volunteers, and we even have 2 athletes, as you know, because you served on the board. And so my job, essentially, is to lead the board, to take all of those different stakeholders and all those opinions, listen to what everybody has to say, and then make sure that we all agree on what's the best path forward for Special Olympics, whether it's sort of strategy, big picture strategy moving forward, or specific items that might be on the plate for Special Olympics. But my goal is essentially to sort of pull them all together.
That's great. I hope you do very well. You do very well at it.
Well, thank you.
And as you said, what goals and objectives have you established for yourself, too?
So I think coming off the 50th anniversary, it's an interesting year because I don't know that it was such an amazing year last year with all the things that we did. It's sort of hard to duplicate that and figure out what the next steps are. So I think one of the objectives for this year is to figure out, and we've tried to do this, what things we can take from that 50th anniversary celebration and move them forward. And so some of the changes, for example, we made with opening ceremonies, we incorporated again this year, like even under difficult circumstances, like having the band. The gala, again, we will look for increased athlete participation in the gala in October, just like last year. I mean, all of those things were great. And then I think the second objective is sort of to get back to the normal business that we do as a board of directors, which, as you know from having served on the board, is not always the most glamorous things and the things that get a lot of publicity.
Got to figure out how to raise money and everything.
Right. So we're back to some extent business as usual. We've been working on some of our legal and our policy documents. We've been working on making sure that our financial investments with the finance committee are in the right places, and just really helping again Denny and the team do their day-to-day work and make sure they have the resources and things that they need to do.
That is great. Last year, Special Olympics celebrated their 50th anniversary and the accomplishments that the organization has made since 1968. As we move forward, what type of accomplishments would you like to see celebrated the next 50 years?
So I think when you look at all of the progress in the first 50 years, you know, you went from 1,000 athletes, the organization from 1,000 athletes in Chicago to now, 6 million athletes in 170 countries. And even when you look at, in the state of Rhode Island, how big the program has grown, so that now, we service about 4,000 athletes with about 6,000 volunteers and with 1,600 competitions, right? It's really going to be hard to match, I think, what we've done or what Special Olympics has done in the first 50 years. But in thinking about it, I would tell you that there's 3 things that I think would be, I would like to see happen in the next 50 years. The first thing I'd like to do, or I'd like to see Special Olympics do, is expand their base. So we're popular in Rhode Island. We do great in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And maybe you'd agree with me, but I think we've only scratched the surface.
Yep.
Right? I think we can find more people, get the message out better, and really just sort of capture the state in a way that we haven't done before. And I think Special Olympics can do that globally as well. So that's the first thing I would say. You know, expand the base of fans, if you will, and supporters of Special Olympics.
Yep. And more athletes are getting involved in Special Olympics. This year there was the biggest athlete input in Special Olympics.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Every number of the years seems to go up,
Yep.
and that's just great. Another thing I'd like to see, frankly, is just to continue the mission that Special Olympics has started of inclusion and breaking down stereotypes. I think that we've done great work in that area, and the organization's done great work in that area, but I think we can continue to do better. And hopefully over the next 50 years, we'll see a lot more of societal inclusion for the athletes of Special Olympics. We certainly know that they are more than equal to the task, which sort of brings me to my last point. We know you've served on the board, other athletes have served on the board. We now have the Athlete Leadership Council. One of the things we're doing this year is we're bringing together the board of directors and the Athlete Leadership Council to interact, get to know one another, and share ideas. But I think the last thing I would like to see happen over the next 50 years is to really continue to pass the torch more to the athletes. Like I said, every time we give the athletes more responsibility, they rise to the occasion. And I really think that the more we can interact with the athletes, give them responsibility and opportunity within the organization, because ultimately, at the end of the day, Henry, it's your organization, it's the organization of the other athletes, and you guys are more than capable of having an extended, really, share of how that partnership works.
Yep. Well, thank you for being on the show tonight. We hope you come back again, talk about the board and everything on Special Olympics Round Magazine. Back more Special Olympics Magazine after the exciting messages.
Hi, welcome back to Special Olympics Rhode Island Magazine. Hi, I'm Megan Miller, and joining me today is Dan O'Neill from Rhode Island State Police Troopers Association Sporting Clays Fun Shoot and Steak Fry. Welcome to the show.
Good evening. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very well, thanks.
Dan, can you tell us about the partnership between the Troopers Association and Special Olympics Rhode Island?
So back in the 70s, the Troopers Association started. So back in the early 80s, they wanted to find out a good nonprofit organization that they could really back and really do a lot of fundraising for. And that's when they fell in love with Special Olympics Rhode Island. So Special Olympics Rhode Island's been with us for a long, long time. And we do everything we can to raise money for those 4,000 athletes that are out there making us proud every day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And tell us about the upcoming Sporting Clays Fun Shoot date, time, location, and price.
So on September 15th at Edaville Farm in Burrillville, which is going to be located at 200 Pheasant Drive, we're going to have a fun shoot and sporting clay event. So what that means is that a whole family can come out for a wonderful day of shooting targets and using all the nature around them to have a great day together. So they do seniors, they do young shooters, they do females, and then they have a huge steak fry at the end, where if you're not a shooter, you can still come as a steak fry attendee. So the prices range from about $150, about $125 to $150, depending on what you shoot. And then if you only want to come for the steak fry, it's $25 to come.
And who is this event open to?
It's open to everyone. So we want to get as many people as we can. If you haven't had any firearms training or anything like that, you can still come and watch. So we want to get as many people out there to support the Rhode Island Troopers Association as well as Special Olympics Rhode Island.
Wonderful. And what are the categories to enter, and are there prizes?
Yes, actually I have them written down because there's so many. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that everyone shows up and stays for the high overall champion. You have the senior 65 plus champion, ladies champion, the junior champion, and then there's a top law enforcement. So that means that every police officer can show off their skills that they've been trained at every day and hopefully win that top prize. So the registration started on September 10th, and all participants receive a free T-shirt, which is great. You know, with Special Olympics, we love T-shirts, right?
Yeah.
But it's limited to 120 shooters. In the last 15 years, we've almost peaked out, and this year we're almost peaked out as well.
Wonderful.
And so you got to think, at the last 15 years, so this is the biggest one because this is, obviously the 15th anniversary. Every year we raise over $9,000 for Special Olympics Rhode Island. So we want to make sure we get plenty of people in to, maybe we can break the 10,000 mark. So that'll be awesome.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And tell us about the steak fry and auction and raffles.
So we're hoping when people are watching this, they'd love to donate some raffle prizes because we have this huge raffle of, you can raffle off guns and all different types of things you can spend money for. So we'd like to have some sponsorships come, and if they want to talk to any people that are involved, they can contact the Hope Valley Barracks, which is 444-1068, and they can talk to Trooper Deniston and Trooper Lepre. And then I'm over at the Wickford Barracks, which is 444-1064, and we'd love to get some sponsorships and have some people donate some prizes. So the steak fry, like I said before, is $25. It's open to the public. So we come and eat, stay for a wonderful raffle, and really thank our sponsors for being there, and just have some good, clean, classic fun.
Awesome, wonderful. And what is the price if someone wants to come for the steak fry?
It's $25 if they want to come for the steak fry alone.
Right.
And then it's $125 if they want to do some shooting.
That's cool. Yeah. And how can people register for the event? So
if you want to register the event, you can go online, or you can go to any Special Olympics headquarters. Or you can contact any of our barracks, which would be the Hope Valley Barracks or Wickford Barracks, and talk to those troopers that I mentioned before.
Wonderful. And please tell us the date and location for the fun shoot this year. So
the date again is Sunday, September 15th. Location is going to be Edaville East Farm in Mapleville, Rhode Island, which is Burrillville. It's a little town in Burrillville. It's 200 Pheasant Drive. And if you have any questions, you can always contact the state police. You can contact Special Olympics headquarters, or you can also contact Edaville East Farm at
Thank you so much for joining me.
All right. Thank you for having me, and I really appreciate it. And we love Special Olympics Rhode Island, so thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll be right back after these messages.
A love of nutrition, sharing, teaching, creativity, a genuine concern for the health of others. Many things inspire Megan to be a nutritionist for her fellow Special Olympics athletes. It's just one way she gives back to the organization that inspired her. Special Olympics Rhode Island. Inspiration for life.
Welcome back to Special Olympics Rhode Island magazine. My name is Michael Bullock. We got to spend the afternoon at the annual CVS Health Charity Classic. Let's take a look at some highlights and interviews from the event with some of the golfers and sponsors of the event. What do you think of the whole golf course in general?
Yeah, it was pristine condition today. The greens were really fast and the course was good, and good crowds out there today. A lot of people out watching as well.
Yeah. So what's it like being part of the CVS Health Charity Classic?
Yeah, great. Billy Andrade and Brad Faxon tried to get me here for quite a few years, and I haven't quite been able to do it with my schedule, but this time I did, so delighted to be here.
Yeah. So what does it mean for Billy and Brad to be able to have a tournament like this here?
Yeah, I think it's they're very proud of it. They're very proud of all the money that they've raised for local charities. I think it's in the region of $23 million since the start of it. So that's a huge amount of money going to all the local charities. So, they've got to be commended and congratulated on what they have achieved.
Yeah. So how did you do in your round today?
The team did pretty well. We all contributed. But I think we're going to be maybe one or two short from the winning score, but we had fun.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the whole experience and having fun was probably the best part for you.
Always is.
Yeah, so what's next up for you?
Go to the bar in there and have a couple of nice cold beers. That's exactly where I'm going. That's what's next up.
Well, thank you for coming on Special Olympics Rhode Island magazine, and thank you for coming out and supporting the CVS Health Charity Classic.
Thank you. Delighted to be here.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Hi, can you tell me your name and where you're from?
Max Homa. I'm from Valencia, California.
Have you done this tournament before?
No, the first time.
What'd you think of it?
It was a lot of fun, a lot of great crowds. The golf course is really good, and it's a good group of people playing this event.
Nice. Now, how does this compare to other courses you've played on?
It's different. It's shorter, but you have to really use, angles. It's very hard greens. They have a lot of slope. It's kind of your typical old school Northeast type golf course, and it's in great shape, so it was a lot of fun.
Now, I'm so amazed how, when you guys, tee you off and then it goes up in the air, how do you know where it's landing?
I don't know. A lot of practice, I guess. I try not to overthink it because then it might get too confusing for me. But, just a lot of practice, hitting a lot of balls since we were, young.
Now, we one of our sports in Special Olympics is golf. Do you have any advice for our athletes who participate in this sport?
Well, just to keep having fun. It's obviously a difficult game. Short game and putting is always the most important. I know people like to hit it long and far, but it's all about getting the ball in the hole. So if you just keep practicing your chipping and your bunkers and your putting, your scores go down pretty fast and it becomes a lot more fun.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, we're here at the CVS Health Charity Classic, and I'm here right now with Paula Creamer. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so how did you do in your round today?
I played good. I had a lot of fun with Billy and Mark O'Mara. It's always nice to be able to come back to Rhode Island. Everybody here is just so nice, and it was a perfect day. The weather was wonderful.
Yeah, what does it mean to come back here to a tournament like this every year?
Oh, it's great. It's definitely a highlight on our calendar, and we always want to try to make it if we can. And it's a lot of fun. It's for such a great cause, and get to see all these great fans and everybody that comes out to watch. It's a good tournament.
How impressed are you with Brad and Billy and how they put on this tournament every time?
They are two great guys, Brad and Billy. They love golf, and bringing it back to their hometown, it's really special. And to be asked to be a part of that is quite an honor, and they do a great job.
Yeah. And how is this golf course compared to some of the other ones you've played?
I love this golf course. I think it's an old school, small greens. It's pretty much what you see is what you get, but you got to hit some good golf shots, and it's always in good shape. And they definitely know how to run a tournament.
Yeah, and one of the charities here is obviously Special Olympics Rhode Island. What does Special Olympics mean to you, and have you had the chance to meet any Special Olympic athletes?
I have. I've had the opportunity to meet many athletes, and it's great. I think it's wonderful that we're able to help out with the organization, and to have golf be a part of that is very special. And if I can do anything for that, it means a lot. And I feel like we're here for that. And golf is just a part of it.
Yeah. What kind of advice would you give to any Special Olympic athlete who wants to become a professional golfer?
Just to keep on plugging away. I mean, golf has its good days, its bad days, but there's always another one. And to have that attitude of, not every shot is going to be perfect, but it doesn't take every shot to make a birdie on a hole or a par. That's why you get 3 or 4 sometimes, and just to never give up. Look at golf as a fun challenge, not as a job by any means.
Well, I thank you for coming on, and thank you for once again supporting the CVS Health Charity Classic.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Nice to see you, Faith. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. Another great CVS Health Charity Classic in the books. Can't wait to start planning next year.
How long of a process does it take to organize this?
It's pretty much a year-long process. We start thinking about it a couple weeks from now.
Oh, wow. So, what are the different steps that go into, organizing it? What do you do first, and stuff like that?
Well, as you know, each year we try to make it more inclusive, try to add more elements for those who may not love golf but who want to participate. And it's really all about raising money for charities like Special Olympics. So we sit down and we think about how can we raise the most money and what should we do to help the nonprofits that mean so much to us.
Okay, now what are some of the other things that have taken place this past weekend?
So we had Crave Rhode Island, which was a 2-day food festival, which sold out. And then we had a bunch of golf outings. Tonight we'll have a dinner. But there are all kinds of ways that we work throughout the year to help raise money for our nonprofit partners and the working charities who make this tournament hum.
Okay. Now what are some of the other charities that benefit from this?
So we have 24 working charities who volunteer on the golf course, like the Boys and Girls Club, like Children's Wishes, like Save the Bay, Hockomock Area YMCA, so many who work right alongside our special friends at Special Olympics to make the tournament what it is today.
That's great. I love the All Kids Can Challenge, and got to see some of that today. How did that idea come about?
So CVS has always been about helping kids be the best they can be and ensuring that children of all abilities get to do all the same things. So it's just a natural extension. We partnered up with Clarke, and it's just turned into such a great experience for all the wonderful boys and girls who get to hit the golf ball.
That's great, and it's a great thing to witness too, and see the joy in their eyes being part of something so big like this.
Total tearjerker. I cry every time when I see the looks on the faces of the kids when they hit the golf ball. It's great.
That's great. Now, why this country club of all the places to choose in Rhode Island? What is so special about this that it's always held here?
Well, we've partnered with Rhode Island Country Club for a long time. They're very much invested in the Charity Classic. They want to work with us, so we stay with what works.
That's great. And it's such a beautiful day, too.
It's a fabulous day. The weather was perfect. You can thank our CEO for that. He organized the weather.
Oh, great. Well, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
I'm here with one of the co-hosts of this tournament, Billy Andrade. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. I'm honored to be on the show again.
Yeah, so of course, congratulations on winning the tournament and another great job of hosting this tournament.
Thank you. It's this is a big tournament for us. We really help out a lot of charities around Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts, which includes Special Olympics of Rhode Island. So thank you for coming out and supporting our event. It means the world to us to see all the fans that come out and watch us, and to have all these world-class players play. And have such great sponsorship with CVS really makes it a win-win. So for everybody, we're just tickled to death.
It's got to amaze you that this event continues to grow and grow year by year since it started a long time ago.
It really is. It's we never imagined in 1999 when we started this. The first year, believe me when I tell you this, we were worried that nobody would show up. Would fans show up to watch this? And all of a sudden, people started coming, and they kept coming, and they keep coming. And it really means a lot. And I think everybody understands the impact that we make with all the charities and how much money that we raise, and all that together with this great game of golf we play is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it amazes, and I'm pretty sure it amazes you with all the money that's been raised for all the charities around here, including Special Olympics Rhode Island.
Oh yeah, it's you guys are dear to my heart. My brother, he went through the program, and swam. I remember when I was a little boy for Special Olympics. So I love Special Olympics. I love everything you guys do, and I'm glad that you're a big supporter with our event.
Yeah, it's just going to amaze you to see how these athletes are able to thrive every single day.
It's amazing. Just seeing the look in their eyes, I remember seeing that, and just the determination, and those are the little things you have to do as a golfer, as a pro golfer, to have those attributes. If you have those, then you can be successful, and it's great to see that.
Yeah. So, how did you do in your round today in this win?
It was a real kind of a ham and egg. We all played well, very well, and we just kind of fed off each other. And we looked up on the scoreboard and we saw we had a lead after 13. And from then on, we just parred in, and we didn't have to make any more birdies, and which was kind of nice. But it's still a little nerve-wracking until it's over. But amazing story that Keegan Bradley has won 5 of these in a row. 2 with John Curran, and then 3 with me and Brooke Henderson. Brooke Henderson is one of the greatest women golfers you'll ever see, and she's only 21 years old. She's an absolute doll. She's fantastic, and she played great today too.
Yeah, it's got to amaze you to see all these golfers from around the world that come to this event and to support you guys.
Yeah, it really is cool. That everybody understands that you're taking the time out of their day to come to Rhode Island and to support this charity. It means the world to us that we've had a lot over the years, from Arnold Palmer to Nicholas to the young players and stars today. So we're just, like I said, you kind of pinch yourself. You're so excited. Yeah.
Well, on behalf of all of us here at Special Olympics Rhode Island, we thank you for your continued support, and of course for all the other charities too. And I thank you for coming on, and hopefully we see you again next year.
Let's do this again next year. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
We'll be right back after these messages.
A sense of purpose, responsibility, self-respect, connections, pride in a job well done. Mike is inspired by his work for many reasons. And thanks to the programs of Special Olympics, he's an inspiration to many people. Special Olympics Rhode Island. Inspiration for life.
Welcome back to Special Olympics Rhode Island magazine. I am Mary Island. I want to share with you some upcoming events that we hope you can join us at. The Unified Softball Tournament will be held on 2 locations on Saturday, August 10th at Whipple Field in Smithfield and Hanks Rock Complex in Patuxent. Buttonhole Golf Course will be in the venue of Unified 9-hole, 4-hole, and golf skills tournament. On Saturday, August 17th, on August 18th, our Sunday Unified Golf League will have their tournament at Garden Park. Savor the Flavors will be held on Thursday, September 12th at Roger Williams Casino. The 15th Annual Rhode Island Troopers Association Sporting Clays Fund Shoe and Steak Fry will be held on Sunday, September 15th at Innerville East Farm. Annual John Henderson Memorial Golf Tournament will be held at Warwick Country Club on Monday, September 16th. The first Torch One Truck Convoy will be held on Sunday, September 22nd at the Travel Centers of America. Don't forget to savor the day of our annual gala on Saturday, October 5th at Rosa Patuxent. For more information to purchase tickets for any of these upcoming events, please contact the Special Olympics Rhode Island office at 401-349-1900 or visit our website at specialolympicsrhodeisland.org. Thank you for joining us. See you next month of another edition of Special Olympics Rhode Island magazine.